So it's known that in like these blue zone countries like Japan, Italy, Greece, like Costa Rica, California and whatnot, people are known for living very, very long. And I think like a dominating factor that links all those areas is like this warm, quite nice weather, which is like, it's quite optimal. Like you're never put under extreme amounts of stress concerning the climate, your environment, dressing cold, preparing for the future and whatnot. But the other major factor everyone talks about is the food. And people in specific like health circles, they will absolutely be adamant and say, it's the food, man, it's the food. The reason why these people like in Japan with the raw fish, and Greece, you know, with the honey and the olive oil and the Mediterranean diet, it's like it's the fish, it's the meat, it's the raw milk, it's the raw honey. That's why these people live to like 100+ years old. And absolutely that's true. But when you actually look at it closely, like it just can't all be the food. Because when you take a look at like the Italians who live on Sardinia, who are known for living like on average way longer than most other people on earth, you know, they eat pasta, they eat bread, like they eat grains with alcohol, and they smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. You look at Japan, yeah, they eat raw fish, but like, you know, I'm half Japanese, and like 90% of what Japanese people eat, what do they eat? Rice, other vegetables, root vegetables. Like they're not like actually super heavy on the raw meat in actual reality. People like to fantasize and have like this idealistic view or interpretation of Japan as in like, oh, all the Japanese people, all they crave is like raw eggs and raw meat, and they go to like the yakiniku stand and they eat like liver and stuff like that. And it's like, no, they don't, man. Like they enjoy their meat, but like it's honestly a portion of what they eat. It's not all what they eat. So what the hell is actually going on? Like what is actually contributing to their extreme longevity? And I think, you know, like I mentioned in my last video, we got to talk about like the invisible affecting the visible known world, so to speak. And I think that invisible factor is your mind. Like it's just your state of being, like your perception of reality, like your behaviors, your belief systems. Take my grandpa for example. He's past 90, but he can still swim, he can ride a bike, he does walks, he can drive for 12 hours a day. He's completely fine. And when I observe him, as I have throughout my entire life, it's simply because he doesn't really care how old he is. Yeah, he's over 90 years old, but it's like, to him, he's like, whatever, I'm still alive, I can still get up and I can still do these things on my own. And honestly, I don't want other people helping me. And because he has that mindset, it literally manifests itself into reality. So that's why he could be 90, pushing 100, like that Italian grandpa meme where it's like, you know, you're just eating bread, eating pasta, drinking alcohol, smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day, and you're like 130 years old being like, hey, what's up, man, and stuff like that. So it's just like that. And then you could take the other side of the spectrum where you have like these really defeated, depressed people who are like 50, and it's like, I'm 50 years old, I'm too old to be doing this stuff, I'm too old to be doing this and that. And as soon as you start saying that, and as soon as you start believing it, and as soon as you start acting it, right, you're acting out your beliefs, right, you're manifesting your thoughts and your emotions. Yeah, man, you could be 55 years old and completely crippled. Like I have seen people who are like not even 50, like 40, with gray hair, they're walking like a grandpa like this, completely crippled. And you're just there like, what the fuck, man? Like, how did this happen to you? And the answer is quite simple. Like, it's because you let yourself believe that this is who you are. And that's exactly why you turned out that way. And so taking that concept and circling it back into like health and food and stuff like that. Because I don't believe the world is purely physical. It just doesn't account for all the variables and everything that we see. Because we'll have people who say like, you know, people who eat the standard American diet, you know, they eat McDonald's, they drink Mountain Dew, eat Doritos, and play like Call of Duty or whatever. This was back in like 2010, right? And these people are like, oh, they're like, this is why you're so sick and you're depressed. And absolutely, man, like you're literally poisoning yourself. So you're gonna be like pretty messed up. Like you're not optimal. You're far from optimal. But amongst those people who drink Mountain Dew and eat Doritos and eat like total shit, there are some people who are just completely depressed. Like they are basically the same as a slug. They cannot function. And then you have people who are like hyperactive, hyper like attentive, they're happy, they can express their emotion. And even despite the fact that they're eating a shit diet, they don't consider what they're eating to be like the worst thing. Like it might just be ignorance, but it's like from their point of view, their life is good. So they act as if their life is actually good, whether they're eating good food or not. So it literally manifests in their behavior in reality. So they express themselves as actually healthy people. That's why two people eating the same standard American diet, both of which are shit diets, one is actually happy, has a successful life, they can build relationships, build friends, maintain them, and like live a normal life and live old and whatnot. And the other person is just like, because maybe they were traumatized when they were growing up, something happened to them, they just got wrecked in life, like their mind got wrecked, and then they ended up the other way where it's like they're 25 years old, completely bald and like pale and just like a corpse, you know. But naturally, you know, if you put both of these people on like a super healthy diet, of course it will improve their health. It's just like, that's just the physical reality of the world. You're introducing minerals, nutrients, energy, essence, building blocks of material into this energetic being. Of course you're going to improve your health, but like if your state of mind doesn't improve, it doesn't account for anything, you know. And this also links into us and the environment. I was talking with my friend the other night, so a lot of this information is kind of like his words and his ideas, so a lot of credit goes to him. But like, you know, we are kind of like a hive mind, human beings are. Of course we are. We are all one consciousness that's been separated to experience an individual life. It's this kind of awkward, painful existence because we're actually a communal, hive-minded, interconnected being, but we're living in an individual life. It's it kind of messes us up. But nonetheless, we are affected by our environment, the energy of the people around us. When you walk into a room full of depressed people, you become depressed, like within 10 seconds. That's like been scientifically proven over and over again. Like people who are friends with depressed people become depressed themselves. People who are friends with happy people, successful people, they become happy and successful themselves. So, you know, you factor like your environment into this. Like, you know, he gave this example, like, you know, what if you're like in Palestine and you're getting bombed and whatnot, and you're like, oh, but I'm eating raw meat, I'm eating super well, so I'm like, oh, I'm totally chilling despite the bombing. And it's like, is that really the psyche that's actually existing around you? Like, I don't think you're in a supportive environment where people give a shit if you're eating raw meat there. I'm sure it'll help you to some degree. Like, you could probably cope with it a bit better, your emotions and whatnot, but like, you're not going to be living this glorious life just because you're eating raw meat, especially if you're in the middle of a war zone, because your consciousness isn't matching the tens of thousands of people who are surrounding you. It's not matching their consciousness. Everyone around you is in a mass psychosis trauma, and you're the only one who's not, and you think you cannot be affected by that? Of course you're going to be affected by it. It's inescapable. I suppose that's why people who want to escape the Matrix, they come out to the woods. Because how else? Because how can you actually escape the Matrix and escape that mindset of being in the city while still being in the city? Makes no sense. You are confined by the consciousness of those around you. That was quite a speech. It just kind of came out of me. But I hope you got the general gist of what I was trying to say here. The mind, it has a powerful effect on your life, your well-being, how your stress levels, how you age, how you look, how you express your health, your movement, your everything. That just comes from your mind. another thing I was thinking, I'm coming towards the end of I think this video, but I was thinking like when I was growing up, I always hated this phrase, fake it till you make it, because I think it's a really bad way of saying that phrase, fake it till you make it. It should be something more like become who you desire to be, because you can fake it till you make it, but what you're actually trying to do is you're trying to subtly and slowly change your patterns of behavior to match your desired reality. And over enough repetitions and over a long enough period of time, your desire to become who you want to be will manifest, and you will become that guy. Like if you always wanted to be that guy, if you just start acting like that guy, over time you become that guy. So it kind of is like fake it till you make it, but it's not. It's really just become who you want to be. The sun has set now, and that is the end of the video. So thanks for watching, guys.